Hi, I'm Isabel, and I am the founder and firebrand of the Uprising Spark, which is a digital project in which I offer coaching services and products for modern child-free women to help them empower themselves and give them tools to improve their self-love and their self-confidence. And I am also the host of the Honest Uproar podcast, which was created with the objective of, strengthening the community of child-free people, child-free women specifically around the world. I'm also passionate about traveling, kite surfing, and dogs.
I'm Kristen. I'm the author most recently of The Age of the Child, which was heavily influenced by a child-free experience and all of the stuff that goes along with that, like U.S. laws about birth control and just so many things. It's hard to get into. I've been a writer pretty much forever, and I think I've always tried to incorporate child-free characters, or at least the idea of not really wanting kids into stories, not as part of any agenda, but just because that's my experience, and everything I had read had mothers and motherhood and all that stuff in it as if it were a given, and it wasn't a given for me, so I like to bring in the other side. Right now, I'm not writing anything. I'm pretty much doing this.
Hi, I'm LeNora. I am the creator of The Bitchy Bookkeeper, which is a brand that is designed for the child-free community. I have recently just published a series of journals, paperback journals that are for child-free women. I've been journaling since I was 12 years old, so this summer I got the inspiration to create my own line, and so that is my day. I spend my time blogging about life as a child-free woman and creating this vlog, Childfree Girls, and creating journals and having awesome discussions, and this is where my life has gone so far. And we are the founding non-mothers of Childfree Girls.
Really excited about the things we're going to talk about, because even though we're not nasty, we are opinionated. And so, and not opinionated sounds like, sounds like calling an old woman feisty. That's not what I mean. I mean that we're not afraid to have our opinions, and they're strong opinions, because when you're in a society, as pretty much the whole world is, where children are expected, that pressure gets to be a little obnoxious, and the responses to this decision can be a little obnoxious, and people just do terrible things in the name of parenthood, which is one of the things we'll be talking about on our first episode on the 11th. I just can't wait to see the things we're going to talk about.
Well, and that's the fun part, is because we have different perspectives. I mean, the three of us are decidedly child-free by choice, and we are passionate about our living this way. And we live in 3 different countries, and we have different backgrounds, different upbringings, and it's not like we're all just going to sit and agree. We agree on the foundation we all agree on, but how our approach and I don't know, there's certain things we've already discussed in chat that I go, okay, it's not that I'm disagreeing, it's giving me a different viewpoint, because my viewpoint is decidedly different. So this is going to be interesting to see what comes out and what I learned from it, and and what I can see it in my head what I'm going to say about certain things, but the reality, I don't know what'll happen. Which is, for me, that's interesting. It's like improv, but child-free version or something.
Child-free improv. Well, yeah, I mean that's going to be the core, I would say, of what we're trying to achieve here, is to actually show different perspectives of the same subject. Very strong opinions, like Kristen said, because they are, but it's going to give us a chance as well to get our message out there. And some people are going to agree with one of us or all of us or none of us, and that's fine. So we just want to put our experiences and our knowledge and our opinions out there.
Yeah, and we'll just be entertaining.
If you have 3 people, intertwining and braiding their thoughts together, it's strange, really, how one person's single line of thought, when met with another one, can just create this really cool explosion of new ideas that come from this conversation that you might not have thought about before.
Yeah.
And it's all in one place, like an article, but with more stuff going on.
You know, I love the interview process. I love listening to people being interviewed about being child-free. I love reading the articles. I love everything that's out there right now. I think it's fascinating. Even if it comes from a place that I don't agree or understand, I think that is incredibly interesting.
Since the three of us came together to do this, I've been a lot more reinvested in the whole child-free, the need to increase, and awareness sounds like a really funny word, but to increase awareness of the fact that having a child is a choice. I was really into it for a long time after I finally reached a point in my life when I wasn't feeling defensive and angry about it anymore. I started getting into writing about it on a blog because it really disturbed me that people felt that I had felt that kind of pressure, and that other people probably still continue to feel that pressure to have kids, whether it's from society or their parents or a partner. And having kids is just too important a decision to let it be dictated by pressure. It's too important to the person who would be pressured into it, and it's way too important for the kid that would be a pressure child, possibly not wanted and thrust into a terrible environment. So I was really into that for a long time. And then, you know, I also write fiction, so I would get sidetracked by that. And then since meeting up with you two, I've gotten back into this. And it's funny how powerful other people's negative influence can be. Like if someone does say on Facebook, for example, you're so fucking annoying with all your child-free nonsense, why don't you just be child-free and shut up about it? I think, yeah, why don't I just shut up about it? What's the big deal? But then I think about the people who it is a big deal for them. It's a big deal for them to think, you know, oh no, I'm getting married, which means I have to have a kid. Or, you know, it's a very big deal. There are some people who don't know they have a choice. There are some people who feel like they don't want kids, but they feel bad about it and they don't think it's normal. And again, it's just too big of a decision we all just want to be happy. You know, we want to live our best lives. People who want to have kids and are prepared to do that should be happy and have kids. People who don't want kids should not have kids and they should be happy. And the kids who are born should be raised in happy environments where they're wanted. That's all I want. But yes, I'm passionate about that now, is where I was going with that. I'm back in there.
Awesome. Oh, who says I'm passionate? Jeez.
You passionate? What?
Yeah. Never. So, 2018, I just had a really intense urge to start writing about being child-free. Because there was just something, I know it's nobody's business, not really. And anyone that knew me well knew that, you know, children were not of interest to me as far as birthing and raising them. And there was just something that did not sit well with me to remain silent, because I am not a silent person. I like to talk. I am, you know, I mean, I'm vocal about what I feel, and I also like to entertain people. So it all just kind of hit where it's like, well, one of the topics, why don't we just write about being child-free? This is the conversation I had with myself. And it felt necessary to me to share. And I didn't have an audience, and I didn't really know who I was writing to. So I thought, well, I'll write to my younger self, because I love to question things. I love when people tell me their reasons why they do things. And so I thought, well, I will just write to my, 15-year-old self, my 10-year-old self, the girl that thinks motherhood just doesn't seem right to her. So that's what I started writing for. And it just, then I realized, and in the past 12 months, I go, wow, I am incredibly passionate about this topic. And it seems to come out of nowhere, but this choice of mine has been it's a defining thing for me. Like, I remember the moment I realized I had a choice, and that has really shaped my life. And it's a huge part of my life. It's such an important part of my life. So I'm a talker, so why not talk about it? And It's changed how I write. It's changed how I interact with strangers, with family, with friends, because I'm interested in everybody's story, not just the child free. I'm interested in parents. I'm interested in those who can't have kids that want them. I'm interested in everybody's story. And it's just gone to huge levels since I've started sharing my own, just to share it. Like, I just share it, try to make it as entertaining as possible from a real place, and it's helped me connect with humanity on a different level, and all humanity, not just, like I said, not just the child free. So for me, I'm like, all right, well, this is just getting started. So I'm dedicating my life, my cause, my, willing to be an advocate, whatever. This for some reason is the topic, and here I
am. In my case, this is a very personal thing. I mean, it is for all of us, but in my case, I come from a very structured and conservative culture. There's a lot of pressure, and of course, I didn't really know that I had a choice. Like, know that I really had a choice. Like many of us, many child-free women go through the same thing. I always thought, okay, so I'll get married and then I'll have kids because that's what everyone does, right? But there was something about that didn't make me happy. Like, that's not who I was. I'm in my mid-30s, and it was only until last year when I had a conversation with my therapist that she said to me, "Have you ever, thought about, just identifying as child-free?" And that had never actually crossed my mind. But when I started thinking about it, and then I realized at that moment there is a choice. I can make the choice not to have children. I felt like a big weight just came off my shoulders. I felt liberated. It was me against the world afterwards, because I was like, yeah, I'm child free. And then my parents were fussing about it, and my sister and everyone in my family was freaking out. And then I decided to have a voluntary sterilization surgery. So everything went upwards. It was horrible. I didn't care. It was me against the world, because I was making a choice for me out of the love to myself, to be true to myself. Because I know that I wouldn't be a good mother, or I would be a good mother, but I would be very, very unhappy with my life, and I didn't want to choose. So I started the project of the Uprising Spark because I wanted to bring more awareness to women like us who choose not to have any children, because there's so many out there that caters to moms, but we're like this forgotten part of society. We're like, oh yeah, the people with the mental issues out there that don't want to have children, leave them there. But no, I mean, we all have, of course, we have dreams. We want to build something. All of us, we have different hobbies, and we like to do different things. We're people anyway. And like LeNora said, I'm also interested about hearing on stories. I mean, of everyone. It's really interesting to see how humans actually live through certain things, right? Certain situations. And so when this project came along, and it was really exciting for me to put the idea out there, and then it was really exciting to talk to you two girls to actually put it together, because afterwards it was just like it was the first thing, like, let's collaborate. And then we all just started putting all our ideas and our opinions in, and like choosing the fonts for the logo and what we're going to do, and the seal, and please let's talk about the seal. And it's been so much fun, and I'm like, I don't feel a day's work.
No, me neither.
So it's much, yeah.
It's
so
fun.
fun. Yeah. So hopefully our audience is going to see this, and they're going to be inspired, or they're going to laugh with us, or they're going to be like, I don't agree with you guys, but, putting it out there. So,
yeah.
In which case, we want to hear what your disagreement is, and or if there's something like if you have a very strong opinion that the three of us it didn't occur to us on that particular topic, then wow, I mean, send it to us, comment somewhere, and maybe we'll talk about that, or
Except if you're going to say you three should really have children, please, we don't need to hear anymore.
Yeah, that's not going to go anywhere. Not going to happen.
yeah.
Just saying, please. Well, not even please, no.
Yeah, no.
No, they're going to say, you shouldn't have children because it's terrible.
Yeah, so you're going to find the links to our social media down here. You're going to find our email address so you can communicate with us. Everything's on our website too, so we're going to leave the link to our website on YouTube down here as well, so you can find us, talk to us,
Instagram.
Yeah, of course, social media, Instagram. We're everywhere. Childfree people are
Yeah.
all over the world.
No escape. Oh, our first episode will post on August 11th. That's a Sunday. We will share links to that on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I think it's going to be a really interesting conversation. They're all going to be really interesting, but I, in particular, am interested in this one because it really drives me. It drives a lot of people crazy, but it really drives me crazy.
So get ready to fire it up because we'll see you guys on August 11th. Stay tuned.